The rise of the Roman Republic has begun. The Senate has finally formed the strongest legion that will crush the armies of the enemy states. The Roman legion of 10,000 leaves Rome and advances to the frontiers. The Roman army is waiting for 50,000 warriors from the states inhabiting Italy. The Etruscan League, the Samnites and the Greeks of Taurus have united to fight the Romans. The time has come, the legions are advancing to meet the marching armies of the Italian Union. The enemy is strong, but the Roman fighters who have gone through not a single battle are hardened, and are ready to lay down their lives for the republics. The leaders of the Italic League chuckled at the sight of the Roman army and sent all their forces to the legion formation of Rome. The legate of the legion was not in the least afraid of the accelerating army of the enemy. He continued to confidently lead the legion to the designated positions, preserving his strength before the general battle. The Italians and Greeks, before approaching the Roman legion, lost their stamina, and when the battle began, the fuse of many of those who were in the first ranks faded. The Italians break through with a fight to retreat, but lose their last strength, as a result of which no more than 2,000 enemy soldiers managed to get out of this massacre. The Legion of Rome also lost more than 4,000 fighters, but this does not compare even close to the losses of the Greeks, Samnites and Etruscans. After many years, the Punic War began, in which again the legion that had previously fought on the fields of Italy would take part in this confrontation. The legion was led by one of the most experienced legates that the Roman Empire knew in the entire history. The legion marched through African lands before meeting the army of Carthage, which also included Libyans and Numidians. The total strength of the Carthaginian army was 50,000. The formed gaps in the ranks of the Carthaginian army quickly were filled with reserves of Roman units sent into battle by legate. The legion lost almost all of its cavalry, no more than 2,000 fighters survived. Carthage lost more than half of its soldiers. Victory for the Roman Republic. Decades later, Rome once again needs the Legion of Valor. This time it is necessary to bring the barbarians from Gaul to their knees. 100,000 Celts have crossed the borders of the Roman Republic and are already ravaging the cities. The Legion has undergone changes thanks to the Marius reform. Equipment has been replenished with segments, and the Legion is now led by a legate from the Julius clan. He had the opportunity to demonstrate the power of long-range siege weapons. Ballistas and catapults will crush the Celts at long range, and when the Celts finally get to the legionary positions, the warriors of Rome will crush the barbarians. For long hours, the Romans hacked at the barbarians, until the Celtic leader, who saw colossal losses, decided to retreat, hoping to save at least half of his army. Triumph and great victory again for the Roman legion. Years later, the legion is again called up for service. At the head stands the leader of the house of Cornelius. The legate leads the legion to Greece to crack down on the uprising of the Greeks and Macedonians that took refuge behind the walls of Athens. The uprising was led by a certain Ares who called himself the king of Sparta. Under his command more than 50,000 Greeks from all over Achaia and Macedonia. The Greeks, one and all, rushed to defend the walls of the city, but were eventually driven back to the streets, where many of them were waiting to be killed. Having lost combat experience over decades of peace under the heel of Sparta, the Greeks were no longer strong warriors that they were able to give equal battles to the Romans decades earlier. Legionnaires swept through the streets of the city, like an avalanche, clearing Athens of Greek units. By evening, many of the defenders surrendered. Those who stood to the last were killed by night. They fought valiantly, but the Greeks failed to succeed. Decades later, the legion, which had taken part in dozens of battles, was assigned to one of the regions of the Roman Empire in the very east. After the failed warriors of Crassus, the hands of the Parthians were untied and the eastern armies flooded the border areas of Rome. The legion was stationed in one of the stronghold cities near the borders. In the event of an attack, the legion will easily push back enemy armies and be able to boldly launch a counteroffensive. The Parthians nevertheless invaded and brought with them more than 50,000 soldiers. They attacked several fortresses and cities at once. After many attempts to take the fortress, the vizier of the Parthians decides to erect siege weapons and, in the moonlight, again decides to attack. This time, Parthia unleashed hundreds of fire shells on the Romans, which, after a short amount of time, destroy the firing positions of scorpions and archers, and also break through the gates of the Barbarians. Where later all the Parthian warriors rush at full speed, only those who found the battles of the former greatness of the legion remain to fight to the last, and die for the Roman Empire.